Imagine your financial life as rowing a boat. The destination, financial freedom. But there are two ways to row. Some people work very hard, but without realizing it, they are rowing against the current, while others use the strength of the river. To their advantage, Roberto works hard every day, but whenever he receives his salary, he spends it all on things that seem good in the moment. A new financed car, an expensive watch, a huge apartment that costs a fortune to maintain. He feels like he's making progress, but in reality, he is rowing against the current. His boat is heavy, filled with debt and expenses that only pull him backwards. Paulo, on the other hand, understood that to get ahead faster, he needed sales to propel him. Instead of spending everything, he started investing. He bought dividend-paying stocks, acquired a small rental property, and started a side business. Each of these choices worked as a sail in his boat, pushing him forward without him having to row so hard. After a few years, Roberto is still exhausted, rowing without getting anywhere. Paulo's boat, however, is moving on its own, and he can enjoy the journey. Now think, are you rowing against the current or putting sails on your boat? Consider two builders who received the same challenge, to build a tall and sturdy building. Both started excitedly, but the way they approached the construction made all the difference in the final result. Carlos, the first builder, wanted to see the building finished as quickly as possible. He decided to save time and effort, so he made only a simple foundation and started building the floors. Every day, he felt satisfied seeing his building grow. He thought he was on the right track because his construction looked bigger and more impressive than any other. However, he ignored one crucial detail. The foundation was weak. Leonardo, the second builder, knew that before building the floors, he needed to invest in a solid foundation. He spent months digging, reinforcing the structure, studying the land, and ensuring that each part of the base was strong enough to support the weight of the building. From the outside, it seemed like he was falling behind, while Carlos already had a tall and visible building. Then came the storm. Strong winds and heavy rain hit the city. Carlos's building, which seemed so impressive at first, began to shake. And without a strong foundation, it collapsed completely. Leonardo's building, however, which was built with patience and strategy, remained firm, ready to grow even more. This story represents the difference between the mindset of the rich and the poor. People with a poor mindset want quick results. They spend everything they earn, buy things to appear successful, and work hard just to pay the bills. They believe the solution is to earn more money, but without a solid foundation, any extra income gets lost, like a building without structure. If you truly want to break free from poverty and achieve financial freedom, I have a special gift for you. In my ebook, How to Get Rich Even with a Low Salary, I teach practical strategies to save, invest, and increase your income, even in challenging times. And the best part, I will show you the way. But be careful, units are limited, so make sure to grab yours now before they run out. Click the link pinned in the comments and get yours now. Those with a rich mindset know that the secret is not just about earning more, but building the right foundation. They invest time learning about money, understanding how to make it work for them, and creating income sources that grow on their own. In the beginning, it may seem like they are falling behind because they don't splurge, don't make impulsive purchases, and don't live for appearances. But when the storm hits, whether it's a financial crisis, unexpected unemployment, or any other problem, they stand firm while others collapse. Now, look at your own construction. Are you focused on building a building quickly, or are you ensuring that your foundation is strong enough to withstand any storm? Imagine your financial life as driving a car. You may have a powerful vehicle full of technology and the capability to go far, but if you don't know how to drive, you'll end up lost, crashing into obstacles or running out of fuel along the way. Rafael and Eduardo received a new car on the same day. Rafael was excited and decided to start driving without worrying about learning traffic rules, maintenance, or refueling. At first, everything seemed fine. He accelerated without thinking, made sharp turns and didn't even care to check the fuel level. But over time, problems started to appear. Unexpected fines, flat tires, running out of gas, and even a broken engine due to neglect. Rafael realized too late that just having a car wasn't enough. He needed to know how to use it properly. Eduardo, on the other hand, did things differently. Before hitting the road, he studied the manual, learned basic mechanics, understood the traffic rules, and planned his journey. He knew where he wanted to go and how to manage his fuel so he wouldn't run out along the way. While Rafael was stranded on the shoulder dealing with problems, Eduardo was calmly driving toward his destination. Now, think of money as that car. Many people believe that to have financial success, all they need to do is earn more money. But without financial education, that's like having a powerful car without knowing how to drive. That's why so many people earn well but remain in debt, have no savings, and are always struggling to pay the bills. They haven't learned how to manage the fuel that drives their financial lives. The problem is that the traditional education system doesn't teach us this. We spend years in school learning complex math formulas, river names, and historical dates, but we're never taught how to handle money, how to invest, how to avoid bad debt, or how to build wealth. The result: most people leave school and enter adulthood not knowing how to drive their own financial future. The rich have understood this flaw in the system and decided to learn on their own. They read books on investing, study business, observe how money works, and make strategic decisions to make it grow. They know that the key to breaking out of the scarcity cycle isn't just earning more, but learning how to manage what they already have. If you don't learn to control your money, it will control you. Imagine your financial life as a fruit plantation. You may have a single fruit tree, but if it doesn't bear fruit year-round, or if something happens and it dries up, you'll be left without food. Now imagine that, instead of having a single tree, you have several different ones. Apple, orange, pineapple, and even a strawberry plant. If one tree doesn't bear fruit, the others will still be there to make sure you have what you need. Carlos and Paulo had fixed salaries and started their financial lives more or less in the same way. Carlos focused all his effort on one job. He believed that by being good at what he did, his salary would increase over time, and he would be secure. But over time, things began to change. The company where he worked faced financial difficulties and began laying off people. Carlos became scared. He had no other source of income, and when he lost his job, he had to drastically cut his lifestyle. On the other hand, Paulo, although he also had a fixed job, began exploring other ways to earn money. He started a small online business selling products he made in his spare time. Over time, he diversified. He bought rental properties and started investing in dividend-paying stocks. Even if one of his businesses wasn't as profitable, the others helped balance his financial situation. When the crisis hit the company he worked for, Paulo didn't have to worry. His other income streams were there, helping him maintain his stability. This is the big difference. While Carlos was completely dependent on a single income source, Paulo had already created several ways to make money work for him. When one tree didn't bear fruit, he knew the others were there to ensure his security. Relying on a single salary is a risk. If something happens and you lose that one source of income, how will you support yourself? Instead of settling for one income stream, it's essential to start thinking about multiple ways to make money work for you. This can include investing in real estate, starting a small side business, learning about the financial market, or even looking for passive income sources that, over time, multiply and ensure your financial security. The rich know this, and that's why they diversify their income sources. They have investments, businesses, and other ways of earning money that don't rely on a single job or income stream. If one of them fails, the others are still there to support them. So the question is, how many sources of income do you have today, and what are you doing to create new opportunities? Imagine your financial life as a boat on the sea. You could be a skilled sailor, but if you're always on someone else's boat, you have no control over the direction or the destination. Now think that instead, you decide to build your own boat. You choose the design, control the sails, and decide where to go. Over time, you could have a fleet of boats, each going in a different direction, but all under your command. Luis and Jorge started their careers at different companies, but they both had a dream: to achieve financial independence. Luis was very good at what he did and climbed the corporate ladder, receiving salary increases and benefits. He became comfortable with the stability of his job, believing that by continuing to rise in the company, one day he would have everything he wanted. However, over time, the company faced financial difficulties and began laying off employees. Luis was one of those affected. What he didn't realize while climbing the corporate ladder was that, no matter how hard he worked, he still depended on someone else to guarantee his income. When the company sank, his boat sank with it. Jorge, on the other hand, had a different vision. He knew that in order to achieve true financial freedom, he needed to have control over his life and earnings. So, he began developing his own business. In the beginning, it was hard. He had to learn about management, marketing, and how to run a business. But over time, his efforts started paying off. Today, he has several businesses and a team that helps him manage everything. His boat no longer depends on a single captain, but on a fleet of vessels he controls. This is the power of entrepreneurship. While many people depend on a single job or boss to dictate their finances, entrepreneurs build something of their own, something that can grow and generate wealth independently. Entrepreneurship doesn't necessarily mean starting a big company, but rather creating something that gives you financial control and freedom. It could be starting a small business that has the potential to grow, or even investing in ideas that, over time, can become major sources of income. The secret of the wealthy is understanding that relying on a fixed salary or a single source of income limits their possibilities. By starting your own business or investing in ventures you control, you take the reins of your financial life. The fear of failure might be big at first, but the risk of relying on others to guarantee your livelihood is much greater. When it comes to debt, people's first reaction is fear. However, not all debts are the same. There are those that simply take money out of your pocket, like consumption loans, credit card debts, and financing for things that don't generate any return. These are called bad debts, and they should be avoided as much as possible. They have the power to keep you stuck in a cycle of scarcity and financial difficulty. Remember, getting rich even with a low salary is possible. In my ebook, How to Get Rich Even with a Low Salary, I show you the way with practical strategies for saving, investing, and increasing your income. The link is pinned in the comments. Get yours before it runs out. On the other hand, there are good debts. These are the ones you use to invest in something that will generate a return in the future, like a loan to finance a property you can rent, or credit to invest in a business that will generate profit. The idea here is that instead of taking money out of your pocket, these debts help create a source of passive income. The key is knowing the difference between the two. By using good debts intelligently, you can build assets, increase your wealth, and accelerate your financial growth. Unlike bad debts, which only make you more indebted, good debts can be a powerful tool to achieve your financial goals. The secret is always to assess an investment's ability to generate a return before taking on debt. If what you are buying or financing doesn't have the potential to generate income in the future, it is likely a bad debt. However, if the debt is taken for something that can generate profit, like a rental property or your own business, it can be an ally on your path to financial independence. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn about money is the practice of paying yourself first. This means that before paying your bills, before spending on leisure or other expenses, the first thing you should do is set aside part of your money to invest in your future. Many people, when they receive their salary, start paying all their bills, buy what they need, and when they realize it, the money is gone. There's nothing left to invest in something that could generate more money in the future. This is a common mistake. Instead of treating saving or investing as a priority, people leave it until the end, which causes most not to build wealth over time. But if you start paying yourself first, your financial situation could change radically. The idea is to treat investing as a fixed expense, just like rent or your electricity bill. If you set aside a percentage of your salary every month to invest in assets, like real estate, stocks, or a business, over time, this will create a solid foundation of wealth. Paying yourself first doesn't mean depriving yourself of your needs or living below your means. It simply means you need to be disciplined and prioritize building assets that can generate returns in the future. This habit, over time, creates a positive cycle of financial growth. By doing this, you begin to take control of your financial destiny. And as your money starts to grow, you get closer and closer to true financial independence, where money begins to work for you instead of you working for it. For many people, a financial crisis is a scary thing. When the economy is struggling or the market is down, people tend to fear the worst. However, for the financially intelligent, crises can be seen as a unique opportunity. While many retreat and cut spending, the wealthy see the chance to buy assets at much lower prices. During a crisis, the value of many assets, like real estate, stocks, and businesses, tends to fall, making them more accessible. This is an opportunity for those who have the resources and knowledge to act. The wealthy know that a crisis doesn't last forever, and once the economy recovers, prices start to rise again, and those who bought during the crisis reap the benefits. Instead of panicking, they know this is the time to invest strategically. The price drop can be seen as a sale, where you can acquire assets that, in the future, will have a much higher value. If you have a long-term vision and the courage to invest during tough times, you can come out even stronger when the crisis is over. So instead of viewing financial crises as something negative, try to change your perspective. They are actually disguised opportunities, and those who know how to take advantage of these moments have the chance to accumulate wealth, while others remain paralyzed by fear. Relying on just one source of income is, for many, a risky practice. In a world where the economy can change quickly and jobs can be lost without warning, depending on a single salary can be a dangerous trap. The wealthy, on the other hand, understand the importance of having multiple income sources, which not only provides financial security, but also more freedom and opportunities for growth. Imagine that your financial life is like a river. If this river is fed by only one source of water, what happens if that source dries up? The river could shrink or even disappear. But if the river is fed by multiple sources, even if one dries up, the flow of water will continue. The multiple sources represent your income streams. This could include your salary, but it can also include investments, a business, freelancing, passive income from rental properties, or other forms of earnings. The more income sources you have, the more financially secure you will be. John, for example, worked as a manager at a marketing company, earning a good salary, but he knew he was completely dependent on that single source. He started to realize that while his job was stable, it could be affected by external factors like economic crises or market changes. So he decided to diversify his income streams. He began investing in rental properties, creating passive income. In addition, he started teaching digital marketing in his free time and opened a small online business selling handmade products. Over time, these income sources began to grow, and when the company he worked for made cuts and he was laid off, John wasn't as affected as other colleagues who only depended on their salary. He had multiple income sources that gave him security and the possibility to continue growing even without a formal job. Having multiple income sources doesn't necessarily mean having 3 or 4 jobs, but rather being strategic. Investing in the stock market, for example, can generate dividends. Creating a blog or a YouTube channel about a hobby or passion can turn into a source of income over time. Starting a small business, whether physical or online, can also be a way to generate a new income stream. The secret is to build a network of sources that work together to increase your financial security. True wealth comes from the freedom of not depending on a single income source. When you create multiple sources, you are preparing yourself for any eventuality and creating a stronger path for your future. Furthermore, these additional sources can help you achieve your financial goals more quickly, whether it's to invest in more assets or even to reach your financial independence. It's a strategy that offers more stability and the chance to thrive, even when external circumstances aren't as favorable. Therefore, instead of focusing solely on your salary, start thinking about other ways to generate money. Each new income source can become a bridge to a safer and more prosperous future, where you are in control of your own financial life. Now that you know the strategies and principles that the wealthy follow to achieve financial freedom, it's time to put into practice what you've learned. Remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Building a solid and prosperous financial life is a continuous process. Each step you take toward investing in assets, generating multiple income sources, using debt wisely, and paying yourself first brings you closer to financial independence. It's important to understand that change doesn't happen overnight, but if you adopt a long-term mindset and start implementing these strategies, the impact on your future will be significant. Think of your financial life as a plant. You can't expect it to grow overnight, but if you plant the right seeds and take care of it, over time, it will become a strong and productive tree. And remember, crises are not obstacles, but opportunities in disguise. While others are fearful, you can be making smart investments, acquiring assets that will help you thrive when better times come. The secret is to act with wisdom, patience, and courage. So, what will your next step be? Are you ready to transform your mindset and adopt these strategies for your financial life? Start today. Remember, the future you want doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins now with the decisions you make today. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone you believe also needs to hear these tips. I want to know, which of these strategies will you start applying to your life right now? Leave your comment below and let's continue this conversation.